So this model kit review is of the F-15A Sea Eagle by McDonnell Douglas, and it is a 1/72nd scale model by AMT. And there's some pictures of the finished model, and that looks quite nice actually. There's some details about the kit, and there's a picture of the finished model. That looks very nice. There's some details there about the actual plane. So let's have a look inside here and see what we've got. So this is an older model kit, but actually what's interesting is that we have recessed panel lines, and they're quite nicely molded with a fair amount of detail. So there's the top of the fuselage. Here are our elevators, and they're molded as one solid piece, also again with recessed rivet and panel lines. Here's the wing. Here's the underside of the wing. Here are our air intakes. We do have some mold lines and flashing there. There's the other side of the air intake, and that also goes in the air intake. Here are our tails, also molded as one solid piece. Here's our air brake, which will fit in right about here. No real detail there. We might need to add something there. And then some of the actuators there for speed brakes and so on. Here are our weapons, and these are molded as one solid piece. We've got some missiles here, some of the rails, and some other smaller missiles. All very nicely molded. This is pretty clean, and I don't see any flashing. They do have some very small little mold lines there. Here is our canopy, nicely molded. There's our head-up display there. Here is the fuselage, the bottom half of it, with our wheel wells. A little bit of detail there, not a huge amount. And here's our ejection seat, and our instrument panel there. I guess we'll have a decal there. Here's the turbine for our engines. We've got two sets of exhausts, depending if you've got afterburner employed or not. Here's our cockpit, a nose cone. Here's the front part of the fuselage with the area for the cockpit. This will go with the canopy here. We've got some rails. There's our main gear. It's pretty well molded. Here's our nose wheel, and then main wheels and wheel well intake. So that's actually all pretty well molded. Let's have a look at our instructions here. So we've got some details there about the plane. More details there. And it looks like it's one large sheet. We start off with our cockpit there. And looks like there'll be decals for the cockpit. We put our wings together there. And then the fuselage with the cockpit speed brake. And don't forget the nose weight there to hold it down. There are our air intakes. And those are the engine parts there, the turbines. Then we've got our wings going on the fuselage, as well as our elevators and our exhaust nozzles. We've also got our tails going on, and then we've got our wheels and landing gear. And then we've got some missiles for our weapons. Here is our nose gear with wheel well cover, and we put all of our weapons on there. And then canopy goes on with our ladder. You can have it open or closed. And then we're going to have a look at our painting and decal guide here. So that's, as you can see, a lot of detail there, and looks like we have a lot of decals. So here are our decals, and as you can see, these are just phenomenal. We've got many decals, lots of detail. This is going to be a good model.